Hi, this is Peter Ramsey. I'm the director of Rise of the Guardians, and I'm at the Pan-African Film Festival.
Excellent. And I actually wrote about you.
Oh.
I did. I write Black history, and I wrote about you for Rise of the Guardians, and we were all so excited to find out that there was a brother involved with Rise of the Guardians. And you were here last year too, right?
Yes, I was, yeah. They were nice enough to recognize the film, so yeah, I made the trip out and had a good time.
Yeah, so I understand that you are kind of an animation guru.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, come on. He's being modest. He's being totally modest. What are some of the things that you worked on besides Rise of the Guardians?
Oh, in animation, wow, what have I worked on? I worked on one of the Shrek movies. I worked on Monsters vs. Aliens for DreamWorks and Puss in Boots. And before that, worked on a lot of films in live action as a storyboard artist.
Yeah, and you know, we don't have a lot of... Well, I will say we don't have a lot of African Americans in animation, but we don't know much about that world, you know. So tell me a little bit about what it's like to work in animation versus non-animation.
Right. Well, I mean, in a way, they're very similar because you're dealing with the same things. You know, you're creating characters, you're trying to create emotion. They follow all the same rules of story. The same rules of, you know, the same cinematic rules of telling a story with pictures. Animation is just a much longer, more painstaking process than live action, which kind of, you know, once all the pieces are together in live action, it all happens very quickly. In animation, it's a longer, more steady process to put together a film.
Are you at the point where you're able to develop something on your own as far as animation? Are you in development of anything? Let me ask you that.
Yeah, I'm working on a few things, yeah, but it all, you know, it's the animation market, especially on the bigger films, you know, it's just as competitive as live action. Mm-hmm. So there's only so many that are gonna make the cut. So there's a lot of competition, but I've got a pretty good seat at DreamWorks, and they've been really good to me in the past. So from working on a few things with those guys in mind.
You know, with a lot of black filmmakers, you know, we talk about the advantages and disadvantages in the industry when it comes to color. And, you know, I personally, you know, believe that, you know, you just go after something, whether you feel like you'll get it or not. You know, you take the opportunity. In the world of animation, do you think that there's those same obstacles when it comes to color, when it comes to building animation?
You know, I think historically there have been. I mean, there's just been barriers, you know, for people of color getting into the industry as much as any other industry. So I think historically, yes, there have been. Today, I don't think so. I mean, it's never really been an issue for me that I know of. And you know, there are quite a few people of color working in animation on different sides of the different areas. There's a lot of technical fields, technical crafts. There's you know, artists, visual development artists, story artists. There's animators themselves. But it's another one of those cases where it's one of the fields that we don't get that much exposure to on the technical side in most of our communities. You know, when it comes to filmmaking in general, a lot of the times we're just seeing the performance side, or at the most a director. You know, you're not thinking of all the other crafts that it takes to put a film, let alone an animated film, together.
Are there any technological developments that are kind of on the brink of being introduced when it comes to film? You know, we had, you know, a few years back, you know, we had, you know, 3G cinematographics. So, you know, are there any new developments now that filmmakers are looking at?
You know, it's just a case of refining what is there, how to do the work faster, how to get a higher level of quality, cheaper and quicker. So the technology is kind of refining more than there's going to be any like really big new things like 3D in the near future, I think, because, you know, costs are so high. People are looking for ways to do these things cheaper.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter. We appreciate you being out here, and we'll see you inside.
My pleasure.
Thanks.